Good morning and welcome to Scariff Bay Community Radio. You are tuned in to Saturday Chronicle on this Saturday, the 11th of June 2022. Scariff Bay goes out on 88.3 or 92.7 FM, or perhaps you're listening online on www.scariffbayradio.com or in the TuneIn app. My name is Geraldine Collar and I'm joined, as always, by my co-host Carol McNamara. Good morning, Carol.
Morning, Geraldine.
And we're delighted to say that we are live broadcast from Flagmount this morning, and we're in the National School, and many thanks to Miss Louise O'Kelly for facilitating us here, and we're delighted to be here.
We are indeed. We seem to get a great welcome up on the shores of Lochraney.
We do. And we're looking down on the lake, and it's not a lovely morning, but it's dry here.
Not
anyway.
too bad.
Mm-hmm. So will we kick off with the news headlines?
We will, and thanks to Ursula for preparing them. Welcome to the Scariff Bay Community Radio news headlines for the weekend of the 11th and 12th of June 2022. Together for Hospice, the National Hospice Movement is delighted to announce that Hospice Sunflower Days has returned and is taking place today, Saturday the 11th of June. Any funds raised locally, stay locally. Visit the website togetherforhospice.ie/sunflower days. Cuinniú na nÓg, a day of free creative activity for young people, is taking place today, and there are more than 450 events in venues around the country. One video event is entitled Seeing Eyes, and it can be viewed in Scariff and Killaloe libraries today. Check the website cuinniú.creativeIreland.government.ie for all events. Jack and Jill's Children's Foundation are inviting people to do the 5K My Way this summer with friends and family in aid of their charity. It is on from June the 16th to July the 22nd to raise funds for the sick children in communities across Ireland. Check the Facebook page or the website jackandjill.ie. Broadford GAA will be having an 11-a-side hurling tournament in memory of Niall O'Brien and his cousin Jamie O'Brien today, Saturday the 11th of June, starting at 1 o'clock in the Broadford GAA pitch. There will be 12 teams taking part, and O'Callaghan's Mills and Broadford will be the venues, with the final scheduled at 7 p.m. in Broadford. Check the Facebook page for all information. Steve Smith, a volunteer crew member at Loch Derg RNLI, has successfully passed out as a helm on the station's inshore lifeboat following an assessment in theory on shore and an extensive assessment on the water. The state examinations for Junior Cert and Leaving Cert started last Wednesday. Best of luck to everyone taking exams this year. And remember, there are lots of course options available. Check out the website for new course choices, cao.ie/options. St Joseph's Secondary School Tulla, the Hearty Cup champions, have launched a book entitled Making Dreams a Reality. The Hearty Cup Champions book is a trip down memory lane of all things hurling. It's available for €20 locally in Maloney's shop for a short period of time. A traditional music evening will take place in the Mount Shannon Hall on Thursday the 16th of June at 8 p.m. It's a fundraiser in aid of St Cayman's Church of Ireland. Admission is €15, tickets at the door. The funds are needed to paint the interior of the church, and your support would be appreciated. Senator Timmy Dooley has been elected as co-president of the Alliance of Liberals and Democrats for Europe party at the 2022 ALDE Annual Congress in Dublin during the week. The Congress focused on a number of important issues, most notably European security and the response to the war in Ukraine, as well as energy independence for European countries. The Department of Education can confirm that 6,797 Ukrainian pupils have been enrolled in schools across Ireland. In Clare, as of the 3rd of June, 348 Ukrainian children had been enrolled in primary schools, with another 166 attending secondary schools. Information for parents in Ukrainian and Russian on accessing school places is available on gov.ie/Ukraine. Clare 250 Cycle is delighted to be able to return for holding a table quiz. It will take place on Thursday the 16th of June in the Village Inn, Quin at 9 p.m. All funds raised will go to support the pilgrimage to Lourdes and the Clare 250 Cancer Centre at Ballygriffy in Rouen. Your support would be very welcome. Over €144,000 in funding will be provided by the Department of Rural and Community Development for the provision of 5 remote working hubs in the county. This National Connected Hubs voucher scheme is based on the voucher follows the person and will initially provide 3 days of hub use per person between now and the end of August. Check the website connectedhubs.ie or gov.ie/Our Rural Future. Ireland's Nations Cup win of the season was a dominant display in Canada. Michael Blake's Irish show jumping team of Daniel Coyle, Andrew Bournes, Shane Sweetman and Conor Swale took a commanding victory in last Sunday's 5-star Longines FEI Nations Cup at Langley in Canada. It was Ireland's 4th victory of the 2022 season so far. Scariff Community Council is looking for your support in a Cash for Clobber collection from Saturday the 11th of June to Monday the 13th. You can donate good quality clothing, bedding, curtains and paired shoes, which must be in a separate bag. You can drop them off at the trailers, which will be positioned near the church this weekend. Scariff Library are inviting children that are starting school in September and their parents to a free fun event on Wednesday the 15th of June at 3 p.m. There will be story time dealing with transitions like starting school and a collective painting activity. And there will be tea and coffee for the parents. Contact the library for detail. Killaloe Ballina Tennis Club's professional coach, Wesley O'Brien, will be providing free tennis lessons starting Saturday the 18th of June from 2 to 5 for 4 weeks at the local club for Ukrainian children and their families who live in the area. Further information is available from Wesley's Facebook page, Hit and Hope Tennis. That's the news headlines. Tune into the main news when we will have an update on these stories and some music. News headlines are compiled, as always, by Ursula Hogan and read today by myself, Carol McNamara. Thank you for listening and stay safe.
Thank you very much, Carol. Now, do we have someone on the line for Garda Focus? Good morning, Emer McLaren. Garda, how are you?
Good morning, how are we doing?
You're very welcome on the programme again.
Thank you very much. Luckily enough, I suppose we're delighted to say we have very little crime this week to report. So I'll probably just after the bank holiday weekend talk a bit about road safety, if that's okay with you.
Absolutely.
We're in the middle of silage season at the moment, so it particularly kind of affects people around here. You know, large tractors on the roads, mowers, stuff like that. I would just tell people to just be vigilant, as in, you know, he'll try and pull in the next gap if he can, but don't be overtaken dangerously, or a lot of our accidents can result in this, or getting involved with these big vehicles, you know, maybe driven by young men that are probably trying to get to the next field, but with a maximum speed of 40 kilometres, most of them. But I would say to people in the cars, be patient, let them in, let them out. Like over the bank holiday weekend now, unfortunately, there was 8 deaths in the country, which is very high for a bank holiday weekend.
Yes, very high numbers.
600 accidents reported countrywide. It's very high. Luckily enough now in the East Clare area, we've had nothing over the bank holiday, and in fairness to people, they're very good around here at the moment. But I would just draw to people's attention that all roads, every road around here has no more than a speed limit of 80 kilometres. There is no 100 kilometre unless you get over as far as Tulla, believe it or not. Mm-hmm. And try and stick to this. Like if you're planning a journey to Portumna, or you're planning a journey to Ennis, just say, I leave that 5 minutes there. Maybe there might be a tractor in front of me. Maybe there might be a lorry in front of me. Bad weather. Like we had very heavy showers now over the last few days. Mid-roads greasy. We were out and about. I realised it myself. You know, you have to adjust your speed when a large shower of rain comes in. And I would advise still people to be putting on their lights during these heavy showers. You know, it's not against the law. It's just a recommendation for us to have your lights on in the daytime if it is raining. You know, it's a great, if people can see you in the distance coming, they won't pull out in front of you. There's a longer braking distance, stuff like that.
Yeah, in the very heavy rain as well, there's very poor visibility, isn't there?
Very poor. Like I was out just leaving out patrolling myself, and there was a couple of very, very, very heavy showers, and I had the wipers on full, and it was just about able to get water off the windscreen. Around the Tulla area, around 4 o'clock there, I was up around feet and that, and very, very heavy showers. And it's just, you know, adjust your wipers, just blow the car down that 10 kilometres. Give yourself, as I say, no matter where you're going, even if it's as far as Dublin, give yourself 5-10 minutes extra on the road to get going. And also be aware that in long journeys, just the sleep, it does affect people. Pull in, have the coffee, you know, roll back the seat, get 10 minutes, you know, stuff like that. Pull in, even go for a walk up and down the road, refresh yourself. You know, if you're feeling under pressure at all, don't try and struggle through. Get that coffee into you, get that little bit of sleep. Now, also we've been noticing a bit lately, and our traffic corps asked me to draw to people's attention is tyres. They are gone pricey. Diesel has gone pricey. Everything has gone pricey. But we would ask people to put safety. You know, what's the cost of safety really? Yeah. They've noticed an on their tickets, which is unfortunately, for every tyre you have, it's an €80 fine and it's 2 penalty points, believe it or not. So it's quite high, but it's a big safety feature we find on the road now. And the last accident, believe it or not, that I was at now, 2 bald tyres in one of the cars that was involved, and they had to be prosecuted. That's whether they were right or wrong, and that's what happens to people, unfortunately. So €80 will go a long way in buying you a new tyre.
Ima, can I just do this, Carol McNamara? Can I just interrupt you there about, just to go back to safety on the roads in relation to, you said we're in the silage season. You know, the practice of putting bollards out on the road, on bad bends, where to flag up that grass cutting is happening in that field. I mean, that contributes to accidents as well.
Yeah, sorry, you're coming in very broken. I didn't catch any of that. Sorry.
Oh, really? Sorry. I was just talking about the practice of leaving bollards out on the road to indicate that grass cutting. That in itself is very dangerous too.
It is, and I was out yesterday evening. I moved one in off the road. I know if farmers are coming out of gaps and there is a long bonnet on a tractor, and like from the front, very front of the tractor, we'll say to the cab where the person has visibility, it could be 8 feet, 6-8 feet, and they're out on the road. Maybe that's really the real reason they are putting out the cone, but. If it's in a dangerous area, we have spoken to farmers about this, and in fairness to the farmers around here, they are very good that way. But you have to think of him coming out the gap. He has to try and sneak out. He's 8 or 10 feet out on the road before he can actually see you. So
you do, but you can come round several bends in East Clare and see that.
Yeah, very, very dangerous. With the one I came across now, I moved the cone in, but I spoke to the farmer and he said there was no problem. He was getting his son to stand out on the road and wave him out.
Yeah.
But you see, sometimes they're drawing silage for maybe 8-10 hours. It's a long day for some young fella to be standing there waving them out. But
okay, fair enough.
As I say, if you see the cone slow down, it's there for a reason. But maybe some lads should have it in a little bit further. But it takes a long time for a tractor to come out on the road, unfortunately.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Yeah. So, Eimer, is there anything else you wanted to tell us about?
Just a quick word on, we all know the price of diesel has gone up, and we have noticed in other divisions now, there is an increase in the theft of diesel. We haven't had it around here yet, but we're expecting it maybe towards the summer or towards the winter time now when the home heating oil is being bought. But now is the time to do something about it. Secure your tanks, locks. Even I see a lot of people now are building little kind of sheds around their tanks. The more you can do to prevent this, or even a sensor light over the tank at night, But now is the time of the year to start doing it, because I can imagine when we all get to September, October, when we start filling our tanks with diesel, it's going to cost a lot of money.
Yeah.
And I mean, you have that stolen from you, then you have to replace it again. Even if we catch them, you're still out of pocket. So just this time of the year, maybe it starts preparing for the winter. I know it's on the beginning of summer, but start preparing for the winter, So just to be vigilant to that. And also farmers in the yards, a lot of them would just have tanks for tractors. Same thing, put a lock on it. Sensor light, CCTV camera on it. The more you do to prevent these things, small money now would pay off in the winter time.
Yeah, and for all of us, we can't afford to be replacing oil. It's just, I think it's gone up 130% or something daft, hasn't it? Home heating oil.
Yeah, I mean, as I say again, it's just to be sensible about these things. Start to prepare now. It's home safety, road safety. That's what we're pushing now at the moment. We're looking up in East Clare at the moment. Crime is well down at the moment still. But I would still ask people to be vigilant. There are eyes and ears out there. So if you can prevent it before it happens, I mean, if a guy comes and he sees a sensor light and a lock on your tank, he's not going to bother.
It's a deterrent. It is a deterrent, yeah.
They're handier targets somewhere else, and he knows it. So if East Clare gets a reputation for having their tanks locked and their, something or a gate or something blocking the way from them, at least they'll stay away,
Yeah.
So it's just, with the price of things now, I would say it's very, very expensive to fill your oil tank. Mind it.
Yeah, it's only the price of a lock.
Yeah. Eimer, we could just get you to give the telephone number as well for contacting the guards, please, if there's anything people want to contact you about.
Sorry, you're very broken again. Sorry.
Sorry, I was just looking for you to say the telephone number for contacting the guards. Can you say it? Yeah.
I mean, we always recommend Ennis covers us here, and it's 065 6848 100. That's a 24-hour line for County Clare.
Yes.
No matter where you are in County Clare, if it's not an emergency, that's the number you ring, 065 6848 100. That's answered 24/7, and they will contact the local guard here. People say in the station here, oh, you're never there. I'm out in patrol. I don't sit in the station all day. I'm out in patrol. I was out in patrol all day yesterday. I'll be out in patrol when I hang up from me here. Ring Ennis and they'll get in contact with me. I can meet you back here and get your passport signed. I can meet you, get your driving license put on the computer. All that sort of stuff. It's very handy. They just radio me, but they know I'm out and about. I'll tell that person on the phone I'll meet them at 10:30. And I'll meet them at 10:30. You know, that's the way the commissioner and our local chief superintendent wants us out on patrol all the time now. They don't want to sit in stations waiting for people to come in.
That's great news, actually. I think that's great news.
If you're looking for a form or anything to be signed like that, just ring that number. It's 24/7. It'll always be answered. And again, an emergency, if you see something, 999, it'll get me as well. That goes to our call centre in Cork, and I'll have the call within 30 seconds of you making the call. You know, so.
Thank you, Eimear.
That's great, Eimear. We'll let you go and enjoy your weekend, and thank you so much for joining us.
Everyone have a safe weekend and a safe week.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Thanks again, Eimear. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
My mind, it's not on my plate, and I got a dime. I got a dime. Give me something to work for, come rain, hail, or shine. Been taking it easy, but I find that it's rough. With no money to pay for all the usual stuff. No, I ain't got a dime. No, I ain't got a dime. There's a time and a place and so much space to toe the line. Could this be the measure of me and the whole of you? I wanna get lost inside, hit that perfect groove before it all comes true. Get a measure on who we are. Paul came down from Longford town, threw his weight around with the in crowd, and he made some noise, scared off all the good guys. Give us something to play for now that the city has lost all of its life. Could this be the measure of me and the whole of you? I wanna get lost inside, hit that perfect groove before it all comes true. Get a measure on who we are. First boogaloo, now country tune. Won't be long till I'm loving you all over again. Yeah, just like way back when. Will be yours, will be mine, come rain, hail, or shine. Could this be the measure of me and the whole of you? I wanna get lost inside, hit that perfect groove before it all comes true. Get a measure on who we are. Could this be the measure of me and the whole of you? I wanna
wonderful to be back here in the school in Flagmount, isn't it, Karen?
It is
We
fabulous.
promised we'd come back and we just about made it before the holidays. And we're here with a group of lovely sixth class, and they're going to give us their news and sing some songs, and we're really looking forward to hearing them. The girls will now introduce themselves.
My name is Ava Maroney. Hi, my name is Anne Doyle.
Hello, my name is Olivia Horan.
Hi, my name's Ashmore Mahan.
Hi, my name is Aisling Sweeney. Hi, my name is Maeve McMahon.
Ava Wynn.
Good morning, my name is Maeve. Today I will be talking about our school tour. Recently we went to Chalk Beach. Chalk Beach is located in Kinvara. It's a very rocky, big beach. People can go swimming in the water or sit and relax on the sand. It is a big tourist attraction. Lots of people visited during the summer. When we got there, we met our tour guide. She was lovely. We all had wellies on. She gave us all a net to catch creatures and seaweed. We found crabs in the rock pools and seaweed on the sand. We studied everything we found and put them back. On the way home, we stopped for Supermax. It was really nice. Then we went back to school. It was a great day.
Lovely.
Good morning, my name is Aisling Sweeney and I go to Flagmount National School, and today I will be talking about the war in Ukraine. In the past few months, Flagmount has accommodated many women and children fleeing from this terrible war currently happening in Ukraine, many of whom have been housed in local homes by kind people in our parish. For the first time ever, we have 2 sets of identical twins in our junior classroom. 2 of them also take our school bus to school and back. We have 3 older children in our senior classroom, 2 in 5th and 1 in 6th. They are all really friendly and kind. We also have a new member of staff who recently joined our school, Miss Lebrun. She is the language support. She helps girls and boys learn English in different ways during school hours.
Good morning, my name is Ashmore Mahan and I'm going to talk to you about graduation, confirmation and coming a month ago. Graduation. There are 8 girls in 6th class. We'll be starting secondary school in September. 6 of us are going on to Scariff Secondary School and 2 of us are going on to Gort Secondary School. On June 23rd, Claire Hurler, Keith Smith and Lorna McNamara, who is on the Clare Senior Camogie team, are coming to our school as part of our graduation ceremony, as they are both past pupils of our school. They will raise our newly awarded active flag. Confirmation. On the 25th of March, 6th class pupils from Flagmount, Fecal and Drummadora made their confirmations in Fecal Church. Father Joe McMahon gave a wonderful ceremony and we brought up gifts, sang songs and said our readings. After the Mass there were lots of sandwiches and buns. Some people went out for dinner and others got bouncy castles and had a party at home. Coming a Month School. This year we did very well in Coming a Month School hurling. Recently we won the Coming a Month School semi-final against Clonuna National School. On Thursday, June 16th, we are heading to Cusick Park to play the final against Bedoig. Wish us luck.
Good morning, my name is Olivia Horan and today I'll be talking to you about drama in our school. A lady called Zara Stars comes to our school every week to teach us drama. We were awarded this great opportunity by the Arts and Education last Residency programme. Before we start each drama session, we exercise our faces and bodies. To exercise our faces, we make the biggest and smallest faces we can possibly make. To exercise our bodies, we perform different stretches. I enjoy doing face movements to show various emotions such as happy, sad, angry, shocked and shy. We perform mimes and people have to guess what we're doing. Every second June we perform a Christmas concert in Lochraney Community Hall. The last concert we performed was a comedy called Away with the Manger. Drama is really fun to do.
Good morning, my name is Anne Doyle. I'm going to talk about community games in forest schools. Community games is a huge event for children and teenagers each year. There are many events you can pick and choose from, such as athletics, handwriting, oral quiz, and so much more. If you are not a big fan of athletics, you can take part in other events such as drawing, handwriting, clay modelling, quiz, talent events, and debating. If you are interested in athletics, you can do shot put, long putt, running, and hurdles, and so much more. We recently had our community games, art and handwriting competition, as well as our team camogie, and we won lots of medals. Most of us went through to county and we hope to win more medals yet to come. Forest schools. Flagmount National School was one of 10 lucky primary schools in Ireland that secured a fully funded 6-week forest school programme delivered by a team of certified forest school leaders through the Heritage Council. On the 27th of May, the whole school attended our first forest school session. We saw lots of flowers, plants and insects. They also taught us how to take care and protect the environment. We saw lots of animals on our walk, such as robins and magpies. We then split into two groups. One group did clay modelling, collected flowers and made wristbands. The other group cut wood and drew patterns on them. After all that, we had a picnic. We drank rose petal tea and it was lovely. We also had some homemade cookies. They were delicious. Overall, forest school fosters resilience and care for the environment. It helps us better with our peers and become part of the sustainable community, supporting each other while building our confidence and self-esteem. We enjoyed forest school and are looking forward to our next session.
Good morning, my name is Ava Mooney and I'm delighted to announce that Michael Donald's retirement party will take place June 22nd. Michael Donald was a school janitor, retired 2 years after 10 years of dedicated service to school. However, due to COVID restrictions, we were unable to have a retirement party for him. Finally, after 2 years, we are looking forward to celebrating his retirement party this winter coming. We will have Mass in Flagman Church at 12 o'clock, followed by tea refreshment and entertainment in Flagman Community Hall. All are welcome.
Good morning, my name is Ava Wynne and I will be talking about the music and dancing that has been done in school this year. In term 2 this year we began learning guitar with a man called Terence O'Reilly. He comes in on Tuesdays and teaches us how to play in the community hall. He takes first and second class students first and teaches them the different notes and chords for half an hour. Then he takes third and fourth class students and teaches them more advanced music. And finally he takes the sixth class and teaches us chords to our favourite songs. Not only does he teach us the chords to the songs, he makes us feel more comfortable with the guitar and shows us how to play fluently. He's given us lovely tunes such as Riptide, Ireland's Call and Molly Malone. We've enjoyed it very much and hope we can do more in the future with him. Also, at school we do online music with our teacher, Miss Brown. We do different levels and create music with everyday objects. In addition to this, we do tin whistle with her as well. We've learned multiple songs including Dawning of the Day, Aran Naveen and the Kerry Polka. We practice our music most mornings after our work. We will be playing music for Michael O'Donnell's retirement party. I will be playing 3 tunes on the guitar that include Galway Girl by Steve Earle, Count to Me by Bruno Mars and A Million Dreams from The Greatest Showman. Then, 6th class will be playing Dawning of the Day on the tin whistle. We are so excited. At the beginning of term 3, we started doing hip-hop. A lady called Lourdes came in every Wednesday to teach the dances to us. She takes the junior room first and teaches them their dances. Then she takes the senior room and we practice our dances. We learned 3 dances called the Cupid Shuffle, Pump It Up and Now It's Summer. We learned different dance moves and added them together to make fun and enjoyable dance routines. We've made a dance routine for our graduation day which will be coming up soon. It is a mix between Now It's Summer and Pump It Up. We will also be performing these dance routines for the people attending Michael O'Donnell's retirement and Grandparents' Day. We have done 6 lessons so far with her and hopefully we can do more in the future.
Well done girls. Okay, so thanks very much girls for the news from Flagmount National School. That's just amazing. I just want to know, did you each work on your own piece or did everybody work together? What did you do?
We worked on our own pieces each for the segment.
To make the report?
Yes.
Did you enjoy doing this?
Yes.
Yeah, it was really good. But I also have to say, you have so much going on here. I don't know how you have any time for any lessons. There's so much activities. Are you going to be sad to leave? Do you think, Flagmount National School?
Yeah, I'm going to be very sad.
Yeah. What do you think you'll miss?
All the fun stuff we're doing at the moment.
Yeah. You're looking forward to the new... Which school are you going to?
I'm going to Scariff.
Yeah, very good. So listen, thank you so much for all your news and putting that together. And I think you have some entertainment for us now, some singing maybe.
It was stroll on the old long walk of the day. I met a little girl and we stopped to talk on a fine soft day. Can I ask you, friend, what's a fella to do? Her hair was black and her eyes were blue. And I knew right then I could take in the world. Round the Salt Hill prom with a Galway girl. We were halfway there when the rain came down on the day. She asked me up to her flat downtown on a fine soft day. Can I ask you, friend,
joined now in Flagmount National School by Marie-Claire Lebrun, who is the language support teacher here at the moment. How are you, Marie-Claire?
I'm great, thank you for having me.
How long have you been here?
I've only been here since Easter, but it seems longer than that.
That's it, yeah.
Getting to know everyone, it's a wonderful place to work.
Yeah.
It's a lovely space to integrate.
Yeah.
So I feel like I've been here for longer.
So you are specifically supporting the Ukrainian children, is that right?
At the moment, overall I'm a language support teacher, so that would stretch across the curriculum normally, but at the moment we're focusing for the summer term.
So language
Ukrainian.
support means anybody who doesn't speak English as their first language, is that
Essentially.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So how is it going for you here?
It's great. I'm really fortunate to have a really wonderful bunch of children, and their mums are really involved and really lovely as well. And they've really, it takes a bit of time. They've obviously been through a lot.
Yeah.
Yes.
But they are incredibly resilient and really positive.
Did any of the families have any English coming here?
Absolutely. We have a few mums who have good English.
Yes.
And they've been really instrumental in helping the other mums settle, and to obviously in the first day or two to help them find what they need. We also use a really useful app called the Say Hi app, and that can translate everything that we're saying. It just takes a bit of a delay.
What's it called again?
Say Hi.
Oh, Say Hi app.
It's
Oh,
really
brilliant.
useful. Yeah, so it's the kind of go-to app at the moment that we're using.
So that's kind of better than a Google Translate or something
Yeah.
like that. That's much easier. Do children pick up English quickly in situations like this?
Absolutely. There is a process of learning language. Obviously, the start, there's like a silent period where they're absorbing a lot, it's not producing so much language, but they're children, they're, sponges.
Yes.
So there's so much that they're picking up and articulating as well, even at a stage that you wouldn't expect. So
when they're not with you, are the children in the classroom with the other children in the mainstream classes?
Yes.
Yes. So it's only part of the day, is it?
Exactly, yeah. So they just have focused tuition with me essentially, and we work through various useful language to help them to be able to become more involved in the playground and the classroom, as well as obviously the basic language structures that they'll need.
Yes.
And also just teaching language in a fun way to make it more playful, because obviously it can be an overwhelming experience being in a new place, hearing a language that's not your own, seeing the print everywhere. It's obviously a lot for them to take in.
Yeah. Do the younger children pick it up quicker? Is that a stupid question? But if you're older, is it harder to learn the language than if you're very young when you come here?
I think it depends really. Some of our older children have had some English already in school, so they have a bit of a basis, they know the alphabet, things like that. And they're able to, I suppose, choose what areas they want to focus on a bit more. So it really depends on the child. The younger ones are absolutely just throwing themselves in without self-consciousness, which is amazing. But it really depends.
And are you well resourced? Do you have what you need? I mean, is the department coming behind you with what's needed in resources?
I can't speak for the department as such. Maybe the principal can talk to you about that angle. But certainly in the school, it's very forthcoming. Really supportive.
Just a personal question, Marie-Claire. How many languages do you have to have?
Oh, you're shaming me now. Far less than these children, because they speak Ukrainian, Russian. They now speak English as well. They might have a scattering of other languages as well. For me, I'm learning Ukrainian and Russian as I go along. I was teaching the mums for a few sessions, and they're teaching me.
Yeah.
The children love teaching me.
And it's difficult because the alphabet is different. It's
a Cyrillic alphabet, exactly. So for the older children as well, they obviously have to do the whole their education through a new language and through a new alphabet.
Really. I would imagine that it was very difficult.
I suppose there's a knack in teaching English as a foreign language. I mean, you've studied that. There's particular ways of doing that, and you don't need to be fluent in Ukrainian to teach them English. Or
no, normally in teaching English as an additional language, you kind of focus on English, but in this scenario, we're encouraging the bilingual aspect, because obviously if they're continuing with their own language as well, that's going to support their language learning in English as well.
Yes.
So it's really important that I'm also learning a few words here and there.
Okay, good. And in relation to what will happen, we're nearly at the end of the summer term, so in relation to what will happen, I'm just thinking, is there a hiatus now and now it's going to fall off? Do they get supported? Will the children be supported during the summer?
Yeah, we're running a 3-week program here. So it'll be essentially 3 weeks of more school, but obviously through a summer camp program. So very fun, very playful, very arty, very excitable.
Good
So English
stuff.
to the most fun way possible.
And are you running that?
I am.
Oh, that's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So summer camp fragments.
Exactly.
Yeah, that would be brilliant. Well, best of luck in all you do and well done.
Thank
There's
you.
always a lovely vibe up here, isn't there,
Isn't
in this
there? It's a
school?
lovely
And
school,
I can
yeah.
imagine it's the most welcoming place for the Ukrainian children to come to.
Yeah, absolutely, for all of us. I think every morning.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thanks, Anne-Marie. It must
Thank
be
you.
very
Thanks very
challenging,
much,
but
Mary-Claire.
good when
Thank
it's
you.
Thank you
challenging.
very much.
Yeah.
Go.
Well, that was Mary-Claire, who is the language teacher here at the school, and that was a great interview, and thank you. Now, we have another very interesting guest this morning, Marina Levitina Akahogan. And you're very, very welcome. Not Martina, Marina, I'm sorry. excuse
Thank
me. And she's coming here to talk on two fronts, really. One, about her work here and her qualifications to do that work. But also she has brought in her guest. And her guest is Olena, yeah, and she is from the Ukraine. And we have asked Marina to make out some questions that we can ask Olena, and they will be translated. So you're very welcome, Olena.
Thank you.
I will ask questions in English. Okay. Who are you?
Кто вы? Меня зовут Лена. Я приехала с Киева, из Украины, с 2 детьми в марте.
My name is Lena, and I came from the Ukraine with 2 of my children in March.
Я, как и многие украинские женщины, взяла 2 рюкзака и детей и приехала в Ирландию.
Like many Ukrainian women, I took 2 backpacks. I took my children, and I came to Ireland.
How did you see Flagmount?
Каким вам увиделся Flagmount?
Я приехала во Флагмант в 6 часов утра.
I came to Flagmount at 6 o'clock in the morning.
И нас с улыбкой встретила Кэтлин.
And Kathleen met us with a smile.
Я увидела людей, которые открыли свои сердца и дома женщинам с детьми с далекой Украины.
And I saw people who opened their hearts to people from the faraway Ukraine.
Я очень благодарна местным людям за то, что они для нас делают.
And I'm really thankful to the local people for everything they're doing for us.
Они организовали курсы по обучению английского языка для взрослых и детей. Детей оформили в школу и садик.
They set up English lessons for both adults and children, and they brought the children to kindergarten and to school.
Учителя в школе и воспитатели в садике нашли способы коммуницировать и обучать детей с Украины.
And the teachers and the kindergarten staff have found ways to communicate with the children who came from Ukraine.
Местные люди и природа помогают забыть ужасы войны, которые мы пережили.
And the local people and nature are really helping us to forget the horrors of war that we have all gone through.
Oh.
Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you very much for coming in, Elena. Just Vidania, that's the best I can do.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Marina.
No worries.
No.
Are we having a piece of music? I don't think so. I think we're going
Okay.
to Marina.
Well, we'll ask you to put on your other hat now,
Sure.
Marina. You are, and I'm going to read out for the listeners some of your extraordinary qualifications. You are the director of Wild Plants Can Sing Forest School and director and chairperson of Lochraney Nature Sanctuary, which is here just outside Flagmount. You are a Heritage in Schools specialist, a certified forest school leader, and sacred plant medicine practitioner. Good
right.
Lord.
That's a lot.
That's what that means.
Oh my goodness. Well, what does that mean? And that's yes. So I am a Heritage and School specialist with the Heritage Council, and I'm a forest school leader. So I guess this is probably the starting point, because this is so much part of what I'm doing here in Flagmount, and I'm doing loads of other things as well. But I guess. So forest school, maybe I should start with what that means.
Yes,
You asked me what it means.
Yes.
So forest school is a movement that has started maybe a few decades ago, really initially in the Scandinavian countries. Really, it goes back to like 19th century and various philosophers in the 19th century that saw the importance of outdoor learning for children. But then in the 1990s, some teachers in the UK realized the importance of outdoor learning, and they went to Denmark, I believe, and they found this amazing culture of outdoor education. And they brought it to the UK, and then, long story short, from there, that spread around the world, and it's now in Ireland very much. And it's basically it's become, there's an Irish Forest School Association that I'm a member of, and so the definition of Forest School is it's an inspirational process that offers all learners regular opportunities to achieve and develop confidence and self-esteem through hands-on learning experiences in a woodland or natural environment with trees. So essentially it's an amazing way of, and it connects, it's not like an alternative to primary school education. It's an addition.
Yes.
And it basically means that children are brought to a woodland environment or an environment with trees. Basically, children are brought back to nature and allowed these opportunities to engage with nature and regularly through regular sessions, because that's a big part of it, and to to do hands-on, as it says, hands-on experiences, but really basically to engage with nature, and it builds like self-esteem. It builds real resilience and kind of really good social and emotional and mental and really spiritual skills. It's like it's all about holistic development of a child. And so we're doing here in Flagmount National School was selected as one of 10 schools around Ireland for this forest school pilot that's funded by the Heritage in Schools. Heritage in Schools is a scheme within the Heritage Council, and I'm a Heritage in Schools specialist. So basically, we're delighted to be bringing this to Flagmount National School.
Yes.
And I work on currently in this pilot. I'm working together with. With another forest school practitioner from Kilkenny, and her name is Maura Brennan, and she's a fantastic forest school practitioner as well. So we've already done 2 sessions
with the children here in
Flagmount National School. Yes, our last session was yesterday. And it was good fun.
Yeah.
So we've been bringing the children in 2 groups. So the first group came. The juniors came first, and then we were there for about 2 hours with them, and then the seniors came, and we had another. So it's great fun.
I presume you'd have a slightly different schedule for the younger children.
Exactly,
Yeah.
It's very much age adjusted for the age group. Absolutely, yeah.
I just want to say here that Carl, myself, and Luke, who was with us the other day, we visited Marina in her 40-acre forest sanctuary. And that's exactly what it was. It had
Absolutely. Sorry to jump in there, but I can't get that place out of my head since I went there.
Because it brought such a sense of peace, and it's still with me now. There's surrounding the trees and the view. It is. It's something
special. But tell us about setting that up here, and the principles of rewilding and what you're doing.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, I guess what brought us, so it's very much myself and my husband that, we came here, I've been coming to, we moved here about 5 years ago, and we found this place, our land, and bought it about 5 years ago. But I've been coming here for nearly 10 years because I did a course in herbal medicine in Clare, and I've been coming to the Graney Valley, and I've been absolutely blown away and really called to come here. I just felt like real pull, because I just fell in love with this whole valley. And I guess from as long as I can remember myself, I've loved nature and I've cared for nature, but lately as in the past 10 years especially, I've just felt there's such an importance to protect nature. So it's become a real focus of my work, and I actually changed my career for this. I just felt and feel an extreme importance of protecting nature and connecting children to nature. So that's at the beginning of our setting up this place here. That was the intention, and so yeah, and so there's. What do I say? Sorry.
I'm thinking about obviously.
Yeah.
First of all, just to say, Marina, you have such an interesting background. You came from a completely different career and moved into this because you were involved in you were lecturing in film studies and specialist in the Russian film studies. So, like, you decided to change direction, and then this was part of it as well.
Yes,
trained to be a herbalist.
Yes, and for a school leader. So,
yes,
yeah. So absolutely, like that is exactly true. So I kind of spent many years in academia and in film. So I was both a lecturer. I lectured in Trinity for many years, and I have my doctorate from Trinity. And I was a filmmaker for many years, and I loved what I did, but I just felt like I felt sad for what was happening to nature, and for years I felt sad and kind of disempowered by what I saw around me. And I felt like, well, enough of that. I don't want to continue feeling like that. I want to do something. And I felt that if I started working with children specifically, and if I changed my career and really dedicated myself to nature, protection of biodiversity and nature education, that I could actually do something. And now that I have done that, I feel like this gives me hope, being able to bring children to nature and to encourage them to connect with nature, to feel empathy. I feel empathy is really important. And just naturally being in the woods and being in that kind of an environment builds that empathy. So it gives me great hope seeing that is possible. That's the future generation, and it's I feel like there's so many answers to so many answers to so many of today's global problems really lie in children's education, and just inspiring children.
And you certainly are. And just in relation to when you mention protecting biodiversity, just break that down a little bit for our listeners. What does that really mean?
Well, it really means protecting nature. I mean, biodiversity is just another word for nature. It's much simpler to say nature, And currently Ireland is... the whole world, unfortunately, is in a biodiversity crisis. We all know it. There's both the climate crisis and there's a biodiversity crisis. So there's a huge decline in species around the world. And unfortunately, I hate, this is the sad news, but this is the sad news. Ireland is part of this, and we are losing a lot of our species here in Ireland. So currently, according to the latest report, 1 in 5 species in Ireland that have been assessed, not all of them have been assessed, but 1 in 5 assessed species in Ireland are threatened with decline and extinction. So, and 85% of our habitats are in poor condition. So that's the sad news. But the good news is we all can do something to help stop that process. So in my view, nature education is a huge key to that process of stopping the decline. Starting from the bottom and encouraging the children to protect nature. And also the other side of it hugely is rewilding. There's many ways of protecting biodiversity, but one of the ways that's very close to my heart is rewilding and restoring. It's like nature restoration. It's like restoring the ecosystems, restoring the habitats that used to be healthy and have declined for various reasons, through human activities usually. Basically nature is out of balance at the moment, but we can do so much to bring it into balance.
And when you took over here on your land, did you did a huge amount of planting of native species?
We did some, So just to mention, there's 2 projects that I'm involved in, basically. Like on our own land, it's the Wild Plants Can Sing Forest School, and we're very much doing rewilding on our own land. It's a whole process. It's a big learning curve, and it's beautiful. And also, I'm also chairperson and one of the founding members of Log Graney Nature Sanctuary, which is something that we started with some friends of ours, local people, like-minded people, and we are the kind of the goal of the Lograney Nature Sanctuary is protection of biodiversity and creating a nature sanctuary in the Graney Valley, and basically like gradually growing this awareness of the importance of protection of biodiversity, and restoring, like you said, restoring native woodlands, because oak forests and native oak forests are a huge part of the Graney Valley and Clare in general. And as a matter of fact, as far as I know, Ireland once used to be covered by native oak woodlands. And then it's been lost over the years. I guess Ireland is not the only country around the world. Deforestation is a huge problem. But anyway, so in Ireland there's this big connection with and here in the Graney Valley there's this big importance of the oak forests. So for the Lograney Nature Sanctuary, that's part of our vision is restoring the oak forest that was once here, naturally and gradually, like through natural regeneration and through planting permanent native woodlands, non-commercial permanent native woodlands. So like it's all about balance, and in my view it's about balance between the different habitats, wildflower meadows and native woodlands, and gradual restoration of balance.
Oh, your passion is infectious. And obvious, isn't it? Yeah. I'm just going to let people know some of your other qualifications, Marina, because I think it's important. You hold a doctorate in Slavic Studies and Film from Trinity College Dublin, a master's in Mass Communication from Emerson College, Boston, and a master's in Regional Studies from Harvard University. You're a published author. What did you publish?
Well, I published a book on the connections between early Soviet cinema and early American cinema and culture.
Oh, right. We're coming on to your filmmaking in a minute. Okay. And you're an associate professor and lecturer you lectured at Trinity for many years and also in NUI in Galway.
Yes.
And you're a filmmaker and has worked on several documentary films and TV series. You produced together with your husband, Colm, who we interviewed earlier late last year, the award-winning documentary Fis na Fishoiga, The Lark's View, about the deep connection between Irish people and the land. And there is. You can feel it, can't you?
Absolutely.
Precious land. And you're very passionate about your protecting nature and biodiversity. And after many years in the world of film and academia, you realised that you had to follow your love of plants and all of nature. Now, you've done that, and you've no regrets, I'm sure.
Oh, absolutely not. No. I feel like that's the future. That's the way,
Yeah. Well, I think, Marina, we have another programme. Perhaps maybe we could visit with you when you're doing some of your sessions with some of the children. That would be just lovely. And let people hear what actually you're working on. And that would be lovely. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So,
you'd be welcome.
Thank you so much for coming in today and sharing your knowledge and your time and your enthusiasm with us. And Elena, thank you so much for coming in.
Very much.
With your two lovely daughters.
Thank you.
Dasha and Shusha. I didn't say that correctly, but they're two lovely, quiet girls, and they're gorgeous in their pink this morning. Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Marina. Thank you.
Across the evening sky, all the birds are leaving, but how can they know it's time for them to go? Before the winter fire, I will still be dreaming. I have no thought of time, for who knows where the time goes, and who knows where the time goes. Sad, deserted shore, your fickle friends are leaving. Ah, but then you know it's time time for them to go. But I will still be here. I have no thought of leaving. I do not count the time, for who knows where the time goes, and who knows where the time goes. And I am not alone, while my love is near me, and I know it will be so until it's time to go. So come the storms of winter, and then the birds in spring again. I have no fear of time, for who knows how my love grows, and who knows where the time goes.
Trailers for sale or rent, rooms to let 50 cents. No phone, no pool, no pets. I ain't got no cigarettes, but 2 hours of pushing broom buys an 8 or 12 4-bedroom. I'm a man of means, by no means king of the road. Third boxcar, midnight train, destination Bangor, Maine. Whoa, worn out suit and shoes. I don't pay no union dues. I smoke old stogies I have found, short but not too big around. I'm a man of means, by no means king of the road. I know every engineer on every train, all their children, all of their names, and every handout in every town. If locked, it ain't locked when no one's around. I sing trailers for sale or rent, rooms to let 50 cents. No phone, no pool, no pets. I ain't got no cigarettes, but 2 hours of pushing broom buys an 8 or 12 4-bedroom. I'm a man of means, by no means king of the road. Trailers for sale or rent, rooms to let 50 cents. No phone, no pool, no pets. I ain't got no cigarettes.
5 fois par an, demander la charité. Comme un petit saint patate et des gratons. Les Mardi Gras sont sur un grand voyage, sous la tête du moyeu. Papa 5 fois par an, demander la charité. Comme un petit saint pour le mec et trop que ton maïs. Capitaine, capitaine, voyage ton flag, galant chez l'autre voisin. Demandez la charité aux autres, venez nous joindre. Pour les autres, venez nous joindre, ouais, au grand bon ce soir.
Well, this is live radio on Scariff Bay Community Radio, and we know we've listeners all over the world, and we're so excited because we now have a small visitor. Her name is Dasha, and she's going to tell me a little bit about herself. So, first question, what is your name?
My name is Dasha.
Oh, that's a lovely name. How old are you?
I am 8 years old.
Oh, wow. And where are you from?
I am from Kherson in Ukraine.
Oh, that's a long way away, isn't it? How did you get here?
I came to Ireland 3 weeks ago with my mama and baby brother Igor. He is 8 months.
8 months, yes.
Months old.
Oh, my goodness me. And do you like Ireland?
It is beautiful and the people are nice. My teachers and classmates are kind.
Oh, kind. Well, you are a great girl. You are such a fantastic girl, amazing girl. To be speaking English so well, isn't that just...
Can I just say, she's very pretty girl.
She's also very pretty, but this is radio and you can't see how lovely Dasha is.
A lovely smile.
Lovely. And I've met her baby brother Igor, and he's gorgeous. He's absolutely gorgeous. So we hope that you'll be very happy here in Flagmount, and we hope you'll have a cookie. Will you have a cookie?
Would you like just before you finish?
Yeah.
And will you come back to see us some other time?
Yeah. Thank you. You're best girl. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And thank you for your teacher, Mary.
Yes. And thanks to Mary Claire for helping us.
Sunny south in peace and content. The days of my childhood I scarcely have spent. From the deep flowing springs to the broad flowing streams, ever dear to my memory and sweet is my dream. Confinement and comfort of life for the dangers of bloodshed
I've been up, honey, all night long. It felt right now, it feels wrong. I just wanna feed my misery. The Boston Globe and some black coffee. I don't wanna have a nice day. And I wish that you wouldn't say that to me, not that way. I don't wanna have a nice day. I think that somebody unscrewed my head. I know I look just like an unmade bed, but you know when I feel this way, what it is what I say. I don't have a nice day. And I wish that you wouldn't say that to me, not that way. I don't wanna have a nice day. I can remember a little restaurant, you know, somewhere down around Chicago. She threw that Whopper right in my face, and then she said, have a nice day. I said, have a nice day. And I wish that you wouldn't say that to me, not that way. I don't wanna have a nice day. What do you wanna do then? I wanna weep, I wanna sleep, I wanna get by cheap, I wanna creep into the deep, I wanna fall down in a heap. I'm gonna do it right on your floor. If you say that to me just once more, you'll have to roll me right out the door. Yeah, and give me the old what for. I can remember what the people did way back when I was a little kid. They didn't ask you to be always high. They just said thank you and goodbye. No, have a nice day. And I wish that you wouldn't say that to me, not that way. I don't wanna have a nice day. No, 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 no. Why don't you have one? Take two, they're small. Why don't you have a day like a painting of a kid with big eyes? Why don't you have a day like a painting of a puppy with a ribbon around his neck? Sun going down over the sea. Why don't you have a day like a painting of a kid with big eyes holding a puppy with a ribbon around his neck, standing down by the ocean when the sun is... No, 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 I don't wanna, no, 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 I don't wanna, no, 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 I don't wanna, no, 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 I don't wanna, no, 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 no.
Have a nice day, which is a song by Greg Brown. We're having a really nice day. Are we, Geraldine? We're having a great day.
And an informative.
We're still, in Flagmount National School. And thanks to everyone who took part in the first part of our programme here this morning, and to the school and to the children, especially the children that joined us and our Ukrainian new friends. So, changing tack completely now. We are joined by a most attractive man across the table from us. He's probably spoken for, and his name is Terry Underwood. Isn't that right? How are you, Terry?
Good, thank you.
Good.
Very good.
And you're living here close by to where we are now?
In Caher, yeah.
Yeah. How long have you been there?
22 years, I think. Now.
Yeah. Now, you have a very interesting story, because I think you started off life in London, is that right?
That's it, yeah.
Yeah, and what happened that you moved out of London?
Well, that's when the war started.
Yeah. So were you evacuated?
That's right, I was evacuated to Hawkhurst.
Okay. Where is that?
In Kent.
Oh, really, yeah.
The Kent and Sussex border.
So because of the Blitz and because of was it at that time because of the Blitz?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how old were you when that happened?
3.
Oh my goodness me. Did you have brothers and sisters that went with you?
No.
Just yourself? Yeah.
Just me, yeah.
What sort of an experience was that to leave your home and to go down and live with another family, I presume?
Well, apparently the first people that they sent me to, I screamed all the way in the car
Oh, you
so,
prepared.
so they had to take me back.
Yes.
So then they tried this next place, and I accepted that. And there was 36 of us in a big mansion house.
Oh, 36 children. Wow. From all different parts of London, I suppose. And
anywhere in the country. And it was strange because most people went up north, out of the bombing range of London.
Yes. Yes.
But I went nearer to the Channel.
Yes, but yeah, that would seem a bit odd.
A bit strange, really.
Yeah. What was that experience like? Do you remember much about it?
I do, and it was terrible.
Was it?
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And were you lonely? And was that the?
I was actually.
Yeah. Did you stay there for the whole duration of the war then?
6 years. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So did you go to school there? Did you start school down there?
Yeah, we used to walk about 2 miles to the Moor School in Hawkhurst.
Yeah.
And all weathers.
Yeah.
And there were some prisoners of war, Italian, we called them ITIs. And they picked us up on the bus one day because they felt sorry for us. A couple of us were raining and that,
Yes.
So we did that for a few days, and then there was all hell let loose because they said it were naughty, we shouldn't be that.
Yeah.
They were prisoners of war, you see.
Oh, yeah. Oh, right.
So they made us walk again.
Oh, God. They were cruel times, weren't they?
Yeah.
And what happened then when the war was over? Like you said, you were there for 6 years. Where did you go to after that?
I went back into London then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what was London like in those days? After the war ended?
I'd say it was pretty good, really.
Was it? Yeah. Yeah.
Can I stop you there, Terry? While you were out of London and away from your family, did you see them in that 6 years? Did you meet your family in that 6 years?
Occasionally.
Occasionally, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That was very hard on them as well, wasn't it?
Well, they split up.
So that was difficult.
That was difficult.
Did you make friends there at the time? Did you have friends?
Oh, I had one particular friend, Michael Keyes.
Yeah. Did you stay friends with him afterwards?
No. We lived too far apart.
Yeah, they were different times. You couldn't just be texting somebody or send an email or...
No phones even.
No.
We used to go out every Saturday.
Yeah.
On thieving expeditions.
Love that.
What, in orchards or what, or shops, or tell us.
Main target was Woolworths.
Well, you picked a good one in Woolies.
It was easy to thieve from Woolworths, wasn't it? Because everything was displayed on the counter.
Handy. Yeah.
I remember we had a Woolworths in Tralee, and
I loved Woolworths. Yeah.
We was actually very naughty, but luckily I grew out of it.
Yes. Yeah. When did you stop being a delinquent? At what age did you?
I'd say when I was about 12, you start to get a bit sensible.
Yeah. So did you stay? Because I know your story. Because I know you because I know your daughter Kes Clark, and I know a bit of your story. I know that you went to Nottinghamshire, didn't you?
Yeah.
How old were you when you went there?
I was 12 then.
Oh, you moved there when you were 12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I had 3 years in London.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what was that like when you moved to Nottinghamshire?
Very different, very quiet,
Was that to a rural place? It wasn't to the town, was it?
It was Stanton Hill, a little village.
Okay, yeah.
A mining village.
Yeah, so that must have been a very different experience then from living in London and...
Well, it was nice because there was green fields, and in London there wasn't any green fields.
Yeah. And did you go to school there, or were you started to work early, or what did you do?
I went to school for 3 years.
Yes.
I was at the local school for about a year. And because I was educated in London, I was about a year ahead of everybody else.
Were you really?
Yeah, so they moved me to a technical college.
Yes. So at about 15 or something you moved into, did you move into the technical school?
13.
Oh, wow, okay.
I missed the 11 plus, you see.
All right.
And Yeah, I settled down in that school quite well.
Yeah. So were they happier times then for you?
Yeah.
During that time? Yeah.
Apart from the stepfather, he was a bit bad.
Oh, yeah.
In fact, he was terrible.
Was he? A wicked stepfather?
Typical, yeah.
Was he? Yeah, yeah. Did you start working early?
15.
Yeah.
Yeah. Local colliery.
Yeah. So you were a coal miner?
That was hard work.
Yeah, it was.
Oh.
But I was good at it.
Were you?
You didn't mind being down deep underground or anything like that?
We sort of got used to it, you know.
Yeah.
And you know, when you got on that cage, we call it a cage.
Yes.
And you went down ever so fast because there's no time to go steady with you. Down you went.
Yeah.
You know, and you knew he was down there for 7 hours. No escape, like if anything went wrong.
Oh.
And it was played on your mind a bit, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But to say I got really into it. And
Did you?
yeah.
And were you actually digging the coal, shoveling the coal? What was your job when you were down there?
Well, it was on the roads at the start, you know, moving the coal around in
Okay.
what they call tubs and that, little wagons.
Yeah. So there's a little rail thing that goes
Yeah.
around, is there?
Yeah.
Yeah. How many people? I'm going to say men because I presume it was all men down as coal miners. How many men would have been working in the colliery at around that time?
350.
Oh my goodness me! In a village, that must have been the entire.
From all around, you know.
Yeah, but that must have been such a boost to the economy. You know, it must have been like, you know.
But wages were small, weren't they?
Well, it was £5, 5 shillings a week.
Was that good at that time?
Yeah.
£5, 5 shillings.
Yeah, the first job I got was a motor mechanic. But stepfather says, "Oh, that's no bloody good." He says, "Excuse my French." He said I was getting two guineas a week to do a mechanic job.
Yes.
But I didn't even start because he said, "Oh, they're getting £5." He could see the money side of it.
You got the dollar signs coming up.
Yeah.
And how did you feel about changing from being a mechanic? You know, from doing that to going down. Were you afraid of going down the mines?
No, because there was a nice honeymoon period. There was like 6 months where you was really taken care of and went on visits.
Okay. Oh, really?
You'd got over loads of friends and, you know.
Yeah. And were there health implications from being down the mines for you or for colleagues or?
Well, I lost my sense of smell because you're always blocked up with dust
Okay, yeah.
all the time, you know, and your eyes would be all caked up with.
Yeah. And did it affect your chest from being down there?
I think I'd got an exceptional lung capacity.
Oh, wow.
So it didn't bother me.
Yeah.
You're lucky, I think.
Yeah, I used to swim 2 lengths underwater in the swim bath.
Wow, holding your breath.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
was it all
bother me.
day shifts? Was it days or nights? Or did the mines go 24 hours a day?
3 shifts.
3 shifts.
Yeah. 3 7-hour shifts, yeah.
Yeah. And 5 days a week?
Yeah, but I very often did 7.
Did you?
Mm.
Yeah.
How many years did you spend mining?
About 16, 17.
Oh, gosh, that's a long time.
Yeah. And that whole world changed, didn't it? I mean, the whole, you know, that landscape of there being collieries. And, I mean, that changed in, I suppose, Maggie Thatcher's Britain, didn't it, later on?
There was coal mines everywhere.
Yeah. I mean, it's just phenomenal, you know. Yeah. And Terry, when you left the mines, I know you kind of were innovative in your, what did you do next?
Well, I tried to escape from the mines by being the shopkeeper.
Oh, yes, yeah.
We had 3 electrical shops, me and 2 partners.
Yeah.
But the partners went wrong.
Yeah.
They went mad dog, they went a bit...
They went wrong?
Affected by the money and stuff.
Okay.
And they were spending it and getting big binoculars and going to the races. And Meanwhile, Terry was up on the roof fixing aerials and installing televisions.
Okay, so you're on a very steep learning curve with that one.
Yeah, well, it finished up bankrupt.
Okay.
Oh, that was a shame.
So my friends was crossing the road.
Yeah, sure.
Because they don't understand what bankruptcy is, you know.
Yeah, that was a tough time for you then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was back in the pit then.
Yes.
In a different pit.
Yeah.
But when I got this bankruptcy thing hanging over me, I was a bit shy to go back to work with all these friends and that. I thought they might take the mickey a bit. They probably wouldn't have done.
Yeah.
So I got on a milk round for a while.
Right.
You had a milk round as well. What was that like? Well, it was above ground anyway.
Oh, it was healthy.
Was it? Yeah.
Bottle of milk. And,
Yeah.
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 You had to be fit to be on a milk ground.
You did an
had to be fit.
electric vehicles then, please.
Yes.
Yeah. Is it a hilly place?
Yeah.
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 So, did you at some point? Because I think I remember this from Kez's story. Have your own, like you were going to markets and selling. Was it wool you were selling at one point?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I started with.
Yeah.
And it was really good, you know.
Yeah.
It was Cyril Lord was a carpet company, national.
Yes.
And it went bust, you know. So there's all this wool material, carpet wool,
Yeah.
available, and it was cheap. And housewives found that they could knit with it,
Right. Oh.
you know. So I got into that and selling that, and I used to sell out every time I went out.
So at various markets, was it like you'd have a stall and
Yeah.
you'd sell it from that?
Then after about a couple of years, it all finished.
Yeah.
Things have their run, you know, and then they stop.
Yeah.
So I got into toys then.
Toys.
You kept having to reinvent yourself, didn't you?
Exactly. Yeah.
And you did it quite successfully,
Yeah.
obviously, every time.
So
Yeah.
what do you mean the toys? Where did you have a toy shop? Was it?
The markets.
Oh, at the market.
At a shop as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had a really good, busy little shop.
Yeah.
And then further up the road, they decided to make this Idlewills shopping centre.
Yes.
That was us finished.
Okay. Okay.
Gosh.
The globalization of yeah.
So that's when we went to market, and we'd never looked back then.
Yeah.
30 years on the market.
Yeah. So do you have any Irish connections, Terry, at all?
I married an Irish lady.
Married an Irish lady, yeah. And so what was the draw to come to live in Ireland then? Kez. Well, that's a very good reason to come. Kez is here with us too.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Kez started it, you see, and then Steve came and Ruth.
Yeah.
And everybody came, so I had to come.
You couldn't stay on your own. So how is your life in Flagmount now these days, or in Cahir? Do you like it?
It's heaven.
Is it? Yeah. What do you like about it?
Just calm and quietness, walks and lovely walks, the lake.
Yeah.
You know.
Peace.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Not too far from the shops.
Yeah.
And do you have a hobby?
Yeah, gardening.
Gardening. Oh,
yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Lovely.
And do you sell your produce, or do you?
No.
Just for home use?
Yeah. Keep the grass cut and that.
Yeah. So no looking back about. Are there things you miss about England?
Not much really.
No.
Too busy.
Yeah. Did you celebrate the Jubilee, the Queen's Jubilee last weekend?
I tuned in a bit to it.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a big thing, wasn't it?
A big
yeah,
thing,
yeah. 70 years, a long time to be in a job. Yeah. So, Terry, have you questions, Georgie?
Well, I was just saying what a fascinating man to have come from the ashes every time and reinvented yourself. That's not easy. You know, it's not easy to look around and find something to do in a time when I suppose things weren't great in England, were they? I mean, you know, you're talking about the 50s and 60s, are you?
Well, I was lorry driving at one stage.
Good Lord, what else? Yeah.
And the lorries left a lot to be desired, you know.
Yeah.
On the road, were they? Yeah. No safety.
There was no tests.
No MOT or
no
whatever.
MOTs or anything.
And were you doing long distance driving when you were?
I was, yeah.
Yeah.
And then after that, I was on the M1 working with trucks and concrete mixer lorries. And
oh, wow.
The list goes on and on. And at what stage did you settle down and obviously got married, and where did you settle?
Settled in something in Ashfield.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. It was okay, but over time it got worse. Too much building and stuff like that.
Yeah. And where did you meet your wife then? Where did you meet your Irish wife?
I met her at the little village where I was staying.
Yeah.
And we're living.
Where were her roots in Ireland?
In Widnes. She was from living in Widnes actually.
Oh, right.
Although she was Irish, they lived in Widnes.
What part of Ireland did she come from, or her family come from, or do you know? Connemara, not too far away at all. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, nice place, Connemara. I was
lovely.
visiting there.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting, I think, this morning because we've been talking with the new settlers, if you like, into Flagmount, who are fleeing war. And your story was also a story of, you had to leave the place that you were living in. And that must have been I'm thinking about these children that we've just spoken to.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking about you as a little boy. It must have been a very traumatic thing to happen, to just have to leave your home and not know for how long it would be for and everything you'd known. And,
But see, all I yearned for was to get back in the family situation,
Yes.
And when I left there, after 6 years, I got plonked with my auntie.
Oh, right, yeah.
And that weren't too good.
Was not.
No. So,
yeah. And you had no siblings? You had no brothers or sisters?
I did, yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
And where did they...
Well, one was in Nazareth House.
Yeah.
Convent.
Yeah.
And one was with his grandma at Stanton Hill.
Yeah. Right,
all very difficult.
Did you ever reunite with any of your family afterwards? Like as an adult, did you ever meet up with them again?
Yeah.
Did you hear?
In touch with them, yeah.
Oh, good, yeah, yeah.
But when Val left the convent after a long time, stepfather wasn't very kind to her.
Oh.
So she run away, and I went and fetched her back, and she run away again.
Yeah.
Probably a disaster, really.
Yeah. That's
not very good.
Very cruel. Yeah. I suppose it probably did happen to quite a lot of families. So and then it's accentuated by war, and then having to leave a place, and
because of the war, you see, my mother, she thought I might do better with these millionaire people that.
Yes.
36 of us there.
Yeah.
She thought I might be adopted by them.
Yeah. And did they adopt any children? Did they take
They did adopt one, yeah.
Yeah.
Teresa, yeah.
And were they unkind, Terry? The people the 36 of you that were there, the people who had you, were they unkind to you?
Well, the worst thing was at 6 o'clock, off you go to bed.
Yeah.
And you'd go up these stairs, and it was round and round like that.
Yeah.
And pitch dark because of the blackout.
Oh, right.
And you'd be feeling your way up the wall.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
There's no chance to get to a toilet.
Yeah.
Wow. It was horrible,
Yeah.
And there was a big earthenware pot, and they put all the bread in it.
Yeah.
And in the morning, the mice had come from behind the raven.
Oh, stop. It'd be terrible.
And to be all nested in the bread.
Oh, no.
God.
And they say to us as kids, like, go on, get hold of them, squeeze their heads, drop them in that bucket. And we did it because we were told to.
Yeah.
And the place was overrun with mice.
Yeah.
So they got cats. Then they got overrun with cats.
But presumably you weren't squeezing their heads off and coping with the cat infestation. No.
So one morning I went out to bring the milk in. Well, they had the big bottles then, the quart bottles. And they had a little round cardboard lid, and you put your finger in the middle and book it out. I don't know if you've ever seen them.
No.
And I went out one morning, and all the tops of the bottles was off, and the cream was gone.
Yeah.
Cats?
No.
No.
Slow down.
Don't be jumping in there now.
So anyway, we all got the strap, except the two favourites. We all got strap. No, it was a long clothes brush, that's right.
Oh, lovely.
Whack. So anyway, next morning, I went to get the milk, and there's the spaniel dog licking all the cream
Getting
out.
all the cream. Oh, God.
We never got an apology. Still waiting for that.
Yeah, so you've been waiting a long time. I don't think those people ever apologised.
Another experience, I was with my friend and I'd got a big bagatelle ball in my mouth.
A big bag of what?
A bagatelle ball. You know the bagatelle games where a ball goes...
Oh, bagatelle.
yes.
Sorry, yeah, sure.
And it was big and I swallowed it.
Oh, God.
And I said to my friend, don't tell nobody. But anyway, he blabbed on me and he said, we had the doctor around and they put me on a porridge diet until it dropped out. I had to do it in a bowl until it went... clattered in the bowl. And it went right through me and he kept it for a souvenir.
Oh, God. And we apologise to our listeners who may be trying to eat a late breakfast. that Terry's telling us about his... Oh, gosh, Terry.
Sorry about that.
Not at all, not at all. It's all part of that. But you've had a very, very rich life. I mean, it's not all obviously pleasant experiences, but you certainly lived a full life. And do you ever write any of it down? I know your daughter writes. Do you ever write any of it? Have you ever written any of your stories?
I'm one of them what's always intending to, but never does.
Yeah. Well, I hope somebody's recording you at home and getting this all down. So because we're only getting a glimpse of this, and we probably have to, you know.
Well, it's fascinating listening to you, Terry. Really and truly. And I'm sure there are hundreds of stories like yours.
We'll have to bring you in for part 2, I think.
Yeah, I think we will have to bring you in for part 2.
So, Terry, thank you for joining us this morning on Scariff Bay Community Radio. And may you have many, many more happy years and in peace and in Cahir and up in this lovely part of the...
Well, I'm working on it.
Yeah, good man.
Look after your garden.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
Thanks very much.
show me how to love. Maybe I'm going through a drought. You don't even have to do too much. You can turn me on with just a touch, baby. I look around, since city's cold and empty. No one's around to judge me. I can see clearly when you're gone. And I said, ooh, I'm blinded by the lights. No, I can't sleep until I feel your touch. I said, ooh, I'm drowning in the night. Oh, when I'm like this, you're the one I trust. Hey, hey, I'm running out of time, 'cause I can see the sun light up the sky. So I hit the road in overdrive, baby. Oh, the city's cold and empty. No one's around to judge me. I can see clearly when you're gone. And I said, ooh, I'm blinded by the lights. No, I can't sleep until I feel your touch. I said, ooh, I'm drowning in the night. Oh, when I'm like this, you're the one I trust. I'm just coming back to let you know I can never say it on the phone. They'll never let you go this time. I said, ooh, I'm blinded by the lights. No, I can't sleep until I feel your touch. Hey, I said, ooh, I'm blinded by the lights. No, I can't sleep until I feel your touch.
We're back, Carl, and we have with us now Michael Lynch. Good morning, Michael.
Thank you, and thank you for having me.
Oh, you're very welcome. We're delighted to have you. Now, you have a very interesting line of work. You sell batteries for hybrid cars.
That's correct.
That's correct. Now, for the likes of me who knows sugar all about hybrid cars, tell me about a hybrid car. What does it do and what does it not do?
Okay, well, a hybrid car basically uses electricity and petrol engine
Right.
to propel you. They basically removed the gearbox and put in an electric motor.
Okay.
Now, the electric motor is driven by a high voltage battery, and they have a life expectancy, which is manufacturers say 100,000 or 8 years.
Okay.
So we that's where we step in. When they give trouble, we replace them.
And do they need charging every now and again?
No.
No charging?
No. They're charged by the petrol engine on your daily drive. They discharge thousands of times per day.
But you need to have the fuel to charge them, is that
That's correct, yes.
So
So you drive it from perspective of a driver. It's just an ordinary car. You put up a pump,
Right.
put in your petrol and drive away. But the technology has the same technology as an EV. Same
Right.
motors, same batteries,
Okay.
same all the technologies.
Okay. So how, would you be saving a lot of money on fuel by having a hybrid car or not?
Yes, it depends on your driving. If you're motorway driving, you'll see no difference whatsoever.
Right.
But here now with the hills and Clare and we'll say city driving, there's a massive difference.
Okay.
If you've had a taxi recently, it'll probably be a Prius or a hybrid, wherever you are in the world.
Short
Yes,
driving.
city driving is what they're engineered for.
Okay.
They use energy that's normally lost as heat in a conventional engine or in a conventional car from braking to charge the batteries.
Right.
So every time you press the brake, you're putting money in your pocket as such.
Okay.
Or every time you slow down or go down a hill.
I half understand it.
Okay.
Kind of do.
Okay.
Yeah, but I believe you. I mean, if you say so, because you know. But anyway, tell me, why should I buy a hybrid car?
Okay, why should you buy a car? Well, there's the green agenda, which means environmental saving and pollution and
Right,
CO2s.
okay. Yeah.
But on top of that, they're much better.
In what way now?
They take less servicing. They give better.
Okay.
That's one of the main reasons taxis use them.
Yes.
They do hundreds of thousand miles in taxis, and your servicing costs are down, and they're much nicer to drive as well.
Yeah.
Because of the electric motor, it's much smoother.
Well, it's sort of quieter. of course.
Quieter, yes,
Yeah,
correct.
yeah.
And also you have, in comparison to a normal car, because you have no gearbox,
Yes.
you have an electric motor, you're always in the right gear.
Okay.
So there's no changing of
Oh,
gears.
yes, it's nearly automatic, is it?
Yeah,
Not
well,
quite automatic.
It's more automatic
Oh, is
than an automatic,
Is
because
it?
not an ordinary conventional
Yeah.
car has gears in the automatic.
Okay.
They change. But in an electric car, it's electric motor all the way, so you have all your power all the time.
Right. And
So
you
it's a
said
pleasure to
this
drive.
battery will last me for?
Manufacturers say 8 years or 100,000 miles.
Okay.
But that varies. I've seen them do 16 years and 300,000 miles. It'll all depend on how you drive, when you drive, and the way you drive.
Okay.
Okay, Mike,
Carol,
can I just ask you, what is the future of, say, a hybrid versus a full electric car?
Okay, now the hybrid coming from the Toyota Prius, which is the leading manufacturer of hybrid.
Yes.
The word Prius means predecessor, or the one that went before.
Yeah.
So it was always engineered to be the car to carry us from the conventional car to electric.
Right.
So it's the halfway mark.
Okay.
And until infrastructure and everything gets to the stage where everybody can have an electric car, the hybrid is the way to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Carol.
price-wise then? Is there a big difference between
price. Well, there's a government grant for EVs of about 10,000 euros. So that brings them, most EVs start at about 37,000, go up to 56, well, up to anything really. But you get your 10,000 pound grant, so that brings it down to about 37,000. Whereas the hybrid starts about 25 and goes up to 37 or 40.
And do you get a grant
So-
for those? No.
You do kind of. They give a kind of a 15% reduction.
Okay.
Changes budget to budget, but you don't get a grant. It's in the price of the car on the VRT.
And do many people around here now buy hybrid cars?
I would say yes. I mean, hybrids are tripling in numbers since 17.
Yeah.
If you look at in the village like this now, I would say you would probably have 20-30%.
Really?
Would
I
you?
would think so, yes.
Even though
All the new cars being bought are almost all hybrids.
Yeah. Even though people around here would necessarily drive maybe longer distances than people in urban areas.
Yeah, in rural areas like this, diesel was king.
Yeah.
I was talking to a farmer here recently, and he said that there would be no point to have an electric car.
No.
Because it would be no use to him in his conditions. And I said to him, I'm sure somebody stood in your boots and said, we don't need a tractor. Because of these hills, we need only horses. But it will happen whether you're with us or not.
Yeah.
Okay.
How did you get involved in it, Michael?
Okay. My dad was a mechanic. Yeah. So I've been in cars my entire life. And back in 2008, a friend of mine rang me and he said, I'm after buying a car from Japan. And the battery's gone. And I goes, why are you ringing me? Like, just put a battery in it.
Yeah.
So he said, no, you don't understand. It's a hybrid. Yeah. And I said, what's that? And he said, it's a half electric, half petrol. And I said, oh, okay, that sounds interesting. I've seen the adverts, but I knew absolutely nothing about a hybrid.
But you were a mechanic, weren't
I
you?
was a mechanic,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
So he said, you're the only one I know who could figure this out. So I said, okay, look, we'll have a look at it. So himself and three other guys brought this big battery, laid it up at the kitchen table. It was massive. So curiosity went to interest, went to obsession. And I figured out how it worked, figured out what was wrong, fixed it, and I drove the car. And from the minute I drove the car, I thought, this is it. The car's going no way but electric.
Right.
I've been at cars since I've been 2, younger than this lady. And this was the first time there was an improvement in the car, in my book.
Right.
So I sat in the car thinking, I'm in West Limerick, middle of nowhere, driving this. Where are they now? Where's the technology? So I went into it, looked into it, and spent the next 10 years studying them, taking them apart, fixing them, doing what had to be done.
Yeah.
2017 then, we went to the Clare Enterprise Board, talked to Pat, who sent me on to another lady, which was Anne was her name. And she got all excited, and I was kind of going, why is she so excited? And because she could see the potential of the business.
Yeah.
Whereas I didn't. I just didn't think it was like, you know. So she talked us into starting up when we opened up in 2017.
Yeah. Right. And Pat, do you see the hybrid, you know, I mean, the electric car is the car of the future, but like we don't have the infrastructure to support that yet. And it will be a while, I think, before we have.
Well, it will happen extremely quickly.
Will it?
Yes, very quickly.
Okay.
Just like mobile phones. When they went to smartphones, it kind of happened overnight.
Right.
So the infrastructure, see, one of the major problems we have with everything in this country is the people who designed and engineered the infrastructure never drove an electric car.
Right.
And that's why it was such a mess for so long.
Okay.
They had them in urban areas where people were. People don't need to charge. You need to charge on your journey.
Mm-hmm.
So they needed to actually put them in the right place.
Mm-hmm.
I remember Tesla 2016, I think it was. He put 8 charging points in Burthill. There was 6 Teslas registered in the country, and he was putting charging points around the country. That's how foresight he had.
Yeah, is that at Apple Green there?
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
Now you pass any time of the day or night,
and
be
it's
2, 3, 4 cars
busy.
charging.
Yeah.
So infrastructure will happen as well. I wrote to the government, not that anybody ever reads what you write to them, but I sent it to them. It was very easy to solve the infrastructure. You need a license for petrol, to sell petrol.
Yeah.
So part of the conditions of the license, you must have a charging point.
Oh, good.
The more petrol you sell, you must have what they call a fast charger. That will solve the problem of infrastructure overnight.
Okay.
Because everywhere you get petrol, you just pull in and charge.
Yeah, sure.
And what will you do then when the electric car is and the hybrid is
well
obsolete?
It's a natural transition onto electric because the electric batteries have a lifespan as well.
Ah, right. Okay.
So we would be intending and had intended for 2020 to go into the replacement of the electric car, EV car batteries.
Yeah. That's fascinating. Mm-hmm. Carl is nodding at me here.
I'm making notes. I feel like I know so little about this, but actually the way you've described it now with the hybrid, I actually didn't even understand that till now. And I've been in taxis, actually, that were hybrid, you know, and it's been mentioned. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it's the future. We just have to, at least as you say, if the infrastructure is going to grow around it.
Very quickly.
Yeah.
Because everything comes down to economics. And if there's demand is there for it, it will happen.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in the early days, they had these what they call slow chargers, which were a complete waste of time.
Yeah.
You like plug in for 8 hours.
Now,
who's got time to plug in for 8 hours?
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, so but there's a battery war on between Tesla, Samsung, and Toyota. Toyota have said they've won it. It's called a solid state battery. That means it charges faster and has less heat.
Yeah.
If they're correct and they have won the war, then things are going to change rapidly on the battery front.
Yeah. So it's like watch the space, isn't it?
Yes, it's incredible how fast it's moving.
Yeah.
You sound very innovative, Michael. What else is in your brain there?
There's lots in there. But
that you're about to.
This is a family show, so we can't really bring them up.
Well, just on that, Michael has brought his wife Monica and his little daughter.
She's the CEO.
She's the CEO in this morning, and you're both very welcome, Monica. Sorry, what's your daughter's name?
Leanne.
Yeah. So I think we have to bring our programme to a close, unfortunately.
Okay,
now, Michael, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.
When you are on to the next phase of your career, we'll have you back again.
Very good.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us. We're just here, just for the end of the programme. We're joined by the CEO of Flagmount.
Oh yeah, boss.
Who is Pat McNamara.
I've been called a lot of things, but
I just think,
that suits you, Pat. Boss suits you.
I feel very inferior in comparison to the wonderful guests you've had for the last 2 hours. Very, very interesting people.
We have.
The diaspora from West Limerick, from Ukraine, from Corkloon, from where else have you had them from? Nottingham and other places. So
absolutely.
And Corkloon also, with Murray Sammarina's neighbour. We're the two most famous people in Corkloon at the moment.
Sure,
apart from Kathleen, of course.
Yeah, and Kathleen got a mention here this morning, and so she should. So just as a quick wrap up of how are things in the community? We can see everything looks fantastic in the community at the moment.
And we've had very interesting people on this morning.
You know,
yeah. Sure. Look, there's a great community here.
Yeah.
Between the people who've been here for generations and the new arrivals of in recent years, lovely mix, and everybody has something to offer. So it's a great little community. Talking about the cars and the hybrids, we have a lot of driving to do to get to maybe some services, but look, we have a lot here too, and everybody's, I think, very proud of what's happening
You've a lot
currently.
of reason to stay up here as well.
Absolutely, and hopefully now people can work from home and use the hub that's here beside the school as well when it's up and running. And look, you've had a wonderful guest this morning, really enjoyable show, and we're just happy to be able to bring the news of what's happening.
Is it ongoing? Will you see that there may be more Ukrainians that might have to come into the area?
I'd say we've been near enough to capacity at this stage, because it's a small village enough, but it's a very small village. And secondly, it's still the early stages, I think. In the medium to long term, you hope these people definitely can go back to their country and rebuild and reorganise their relationships and all of that, and their careers as well, and their families. But look, for the moment, we have just probably enough to keep us going and look after them as best we can and settle them in. And this is the early stages. That's why we didn't want to be talking too much about what we can do at the moment, because look, there's a long way to go yet, and hopefully they will get back.
But the vibe we're getting
to their country
is that they feel very welcomed. There's the supports are good in relation to the school, in relation to the language supports and everything.
People have worked very hard to make sure they'll be welcomed. There'll always be teething problems, but it's difficult for them what they've gone through and to come here and settle into a very rural area. But look, it's working fairly well at the moment, and if there's any teething problems, everybody's working to sort them out. Ukrainians themselves are mad to learn English and mad to assimilate and get involved, and they really want to work as well. So look, it's all good at the moment, but it's an ongoing process, and there's lots to do still.
Thanks a million, Pat, for joining us,
and thanks for all your help along the line, Pat, for suggesting people to come in, etc., etc.
That's all my pleasure.
We have to thank our sponsors, Dirk Kitchen Design and James Nash and Company Solicitors, Scariff, who are our ongoing sponsors for Saturday Chronicle. And thank all our guests this morning, too numerous to mention at this stage. And thank you for coming in, Carol.
And we're going to finish with Blondie. One way or another, we're rocking out of Flag Mount here.